Sometimes when I'm drawing, my brain goes on a little side journey during the process and asks me a bunch of very important questions, such as, what's the point of making art? Why should I even make art in the first place? Why am I even doing this? Why shouldn't I give up? Hi everyone, this is Art with Gabby. Here are some of the things I've drawn so you know what you're kind of getting into here. Here are my socials. Okay, let's get into it. What's the point of drawing though? Like why am I even drawing? Like what's the point of putting the pen to paper, Apple Pencil to iPad? What's the purpose? No one is really benefiting from my art. Perhaps someone scrolls and they like it and it brings them joy for half a second, but there are billions of other people in the world who could do that. I mean, to put it all in perspective, the way I think about it is I'm completely replaceable. If my art's not out there, the algorithm will just push another artist's art to someone else, and the other artist will be happier, so why am I even here? This is just me getting existential. This could apply to like any situation. Like, why me? Why am I here? What is my specific purpose? Anyone else could fill this gap, but no one else is filling the gap. It's you. That's the point. So I'm gonna try to talk myself out of some things that hold me back from making art sometimes. Another thought I have a lot of the time is you're not going to ever be the best artist. Well, I would argue that there is no best artist out there, and that every artist that's good is good in their own way. So who's to stop you from being the best in one way? You won't be best in all of the ways, but maybe you really are the best at rendering in that specific style. It's possible. If you go niche enough, anything's possible. But it doesn't matter anyway. What's the point? Why do you want to be the best? You just want validation. And that's an internal problem that you have to address in therapy. Sometimes I wonder if I should draw because I try drawing and then I make one drawing and it turns out like shit. And I'm like, oh, maybe I'm not good at art after all. And that's pretty discouraging, not something you want to be thinking right before drawing, because any art you produce then probably will look bad, because it's self-fulfilling prophecy. I stopped drawing this year in about July. August went by, I didn't really draw anything, then September, October, November, December rolls along, and I'm like, I gotta start drawing again. So I did start drawing again, finally. Got myself out of a slump with a picture I'm actually very proud of, and now I feel like I'm kind of on a roll. I've kind of got this motivation going because I remember how capable I really am. When I make something I'm proud of, it refreshes my motivation. When I make something I'm not proud of, it kind of kills my self-esteem for a little bit. So this is the gamble we make every time I draw. Most things don't evoke too strong of a reaction, but when I really do make something I'm proud of, it makes it all worth it for a moment. I first started drawing when I was about 9 years old. I went to an aftercare and there was really nothing to do there except for my homework or the various arts and crafts they had provided, since I went through every single book they had to offer. So one day I picked up a blank sheet of paper and a pencil and I just started doodling. It started as animals and bad attempts at humans. I quickly learned that humans were very difficult to draw and animals were much easier, so I drew a lot of cats. Eventually I kind of grew out of the cat phase and started attempting to draw humans. And it started very rough. Some very questionable stylistic choices going on, but eventually I started doing anatomical studies, like portrait studies, understanding what facial and body proportions actually look like, and understanding what an actual human looks like as opposed to a cartoon or anime human. And from there I was able to start drawing in a more realistic style. I like drawing from a reference, honestly. I find it very calming. It takes a lot of pressure off you because you don't have to come up with anything in your actual head, really. You just really draw from the picture, and it's sort of like a cheat code, because you can make something you're super proud of, but you don't have to do as much creative effort to come up with something that someone who draws from imagination would. Mad respect to people who draw from imagination. I'll get there one day. So I've been drawing for about 11 years now, on and off. I sometimes lose motivation for a few months and really fall off the horse, but I always hop back on. I've quit every other hobby I've tried, basically. So the fact that drawing has stuck around is actually pretty significant, and I firmly believe it is one of the most intrinsically human things that one can do. I mean, it utilizes your opposable thumbs, and how many other animals have opposable thumbs? It's pretty important to our entire species, I would say. But why draw? It's a hard question. What's the intrinsic value of art? That's like a philosophical question, and I'm not a philosophy major, so I can't answer that super well. But I would say that art inspires emotions within the human, And that's something that I think should be celebrated, as I don't think other animals look at art the way we do. We see a painting that has a deep meaning to it, or something breathtakingly beautiful or awe-inspiring, and it changes how we feel about the world for a minute. And I think that's so, like, special. I don't know if I've ever drawn something to inspire awe, but I know I've drawn things to inspire awe within myself that I drew such a thing. I'm like, dang, I really drew that. And I think it's an activity that requires great mindfulness, so actually drawing in itself helps me mentally, not just the after effects of drawing. It's like how exercise, people a lot of times do it for the physical and mental benefits. You don't just draw for the visible outcome. You draw because it feels nice. And to me, that's what's special about it, is it's one of the few things that actually helps me, like, wind down and really just fills me with positive emotions as opposed to negative ones. Drawing has a very special place in my heart, as you can tell.